Hi, I'm Gabe.
And I'm Kat.
And we're
the Ghouls Next Door. Brought to you by
the
AOL.
internet. AOL. You've
got mail.
Wow. We're not even getting paid.
People still use those email addresses.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, this is your spam. How dare you? How dare you do that? Well, it's 2020, Kat.
I know, it's really weird.
It's the future.
We are in the future.
We live in the future.
Yeah.
We live in the future. Steven Universe, anybody?
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
I did watch the movie, but I don't remember the song.
That was it. And the new show that it's going to have.
I'm really excited about that.
Yes. What you heard was for any babies, any zennials.
Tiny children.
Or what are they called?
Gen
Zippers
Zs?
or whatever. Yeah. Zennials, I guess.
Is that what it
No,
is?
that would be X's, right?
Gen X's are the before us.
Yeah, so Gen Zs, whatever my sister is now. Listen, if you're a child, even if you're 19 or 20, you're a child right now.
Yeah.
Because that means that you're born when Y2K happened.
Yeah.
Which means you're a baby. So
And you didn't
if you
get
are,
to experience the AOLs.
Yeah, so then you don't know what dial-up internet sounds like, and we gave you a glimpse into that.
Yeah.
So don't be like, oh my god, my sound is off. It's not.
It's not.
It's you were loading us.
That's what we had to do every time.
You had to call into the internet, and then no one could use the phone.
You'd be like, Mom,
Yeah.
get off the line.
I'm expecting a call.
No.
Because people used to call us.
My
and we
friends
need to
are
answer
expecting
it.
me on AIM.
Yes. What was your AIM screen name?
Don't you dare. We're not doing it.
Come on, what was it?
Oh, I don't want to.
You have to do it.
It's Cutie Patootie 215.
Oh my gosh.
Was 100%
I can't even.
my name. It's 215 because...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to rep.
From 215. I refuse to have any 215, 267. I will not have ever another number, even if I do not live here.
Yeah.
I feel very seriously about it. Mm-hmm. So much so.
Cutie Patootie,
that I put it in my email address for AOL, and that was also my AIM name. Why I decided to keep that as I aged past the acceptable amount of time that was Cutie Patootie, like that's like 7, and then you stop.
Yeah.
It was still that.
It was still
forever.
there throughout like high school and stuff.
Yeah.
If someone emailed you at cutiepatootie215@aol.com, do you still have access to that email?
No, I
it's
genuinely
probably
tried.
kicked you out.
I wanted to see it because, this part, the reason is sad, but because when my grandpa died, I wanted to see the emails he used to send me, but I couldn't find that.
I also have that.
Yeah.
There's someone I would love to visit on my AIM. Yeah. And be like, what? I saved all our transcripts.
I know, and this is not there anymore, which is sad.
That's the time.
Yeah. We're in the future now.
We're in the future, and you can have cooler names. For the record, mine was Kat, who didn't ask me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mine was OMFG a zombie, but with X's in between each word, because I was real cool.
Yeah.
So that was mine.
Yeah. Remember RAR?
Yep.
That was me.
Oh, yeah. We're in the roaring 20s, ladies and gentlemen and friends.
Everyone be emoed now.
Yes. That's how it is. It's back. Scene is back.
We're here for it.
And it's happening. But today, specifically, and for a good chunk of the beginning of this year, we're going to be exploring what the future is. And exploring, like...
Because we're in it. We're here.
It's happened. We all should start wearing metallic colors and wear, lots of aluminum.
And listen to human music, which is beep, boop, boop, beep.
Yep. Beep, boop, bop, bop, beep, boop.
I like this.
Yeah.
That's from Rick and Morty. In case no one got that reference.
Or from SpongeBob.
Oh, also SpongeBob.
The Krusty Krab guy. Krusty Krab pizza, Mr. Krab.
I was about to do the whole Krusty Krab.
Yes.
Yep.
Or future. Remember that episode?
Yes.
What a time. So, wow, we're on a...
That was a very ridiculous tangent. We're talking about the internet specifically and the development of the scariness surrounding the internet.
What is scary about the internet? We're going to kind of talk about what we're really exploring is parts of the not the internet, but parts of the future that people foresaw being a problem or were afraid of. And so one of those things is the internet.
Yeah,
Like
the net.
it's always been scary.
The .coms.
The .coms, your floppy disk, CD-ROM drive. Yeah.
It's getting you. It's stealing your soul
Yeah.
and your identities.
Yes. Because everything is on the internet. So we're going to talk about that today and tell you why you are in danger. Because you're on the internet.
Genuinely, we are.
Yeah. No, just it's happening.
It's super real, and no one is upset about it.
They are. It's just not the people who should be.
Yes, that's fair.
Facts. Yeah, facts. We tell you facts. All the facts. Yeah, facts. Still facts. About that spooky stuff. Yeah, spooky stuff.
So I'm going to tell you real quick about all the really real reasons that the internet's super scary.
Okay.
Coming from the person who's very much convinced that robots and like tech
Yeah.
are going to be the end
Oh,
of this.
yeah.
I'm super 100% sure that that is what is going to happen. If it's not artificial intelligent robots, it is that, I don't know, we just lose our humanity and become robots ourselves. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah, we lose the line between those.
Yeah. So I made a list from my brain and backed it up with facts of the real reasons.
Nice.
Thank you.
Edutainment.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentle thems. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. It's not mine. My
Enjoyed
friend
it very
Saibi
much.
did it.
Oh my God,
So-
Saibi.
So thank you, Saibi.
I wonder if
I
you
don't know
listen to this.
if they listen, but if
they
you're
do.
listening, I got you.
Yeah. But yeah, I made a list of the reasons why, one, I find the internet scary, but then also like, it's real. Y'all need to also be afraid, maybe,
Yeah.
is what we're going to end with.
Yeah.
So the reason the internet is scary is, one, everything is hackable. No one is taking the fact that you need to make multiple passwords and like all
Yeah.
that stuff seriously
People who
enough.
their passwords still be password in 2020 should be arrested.
It's unsafe. It's genuinely unsafe. They like hack celebrity photos and
Yeah.
put naked photos on the internet. Nothing on your phone is safe. Teach the children.
Yeah.
Teach them.
Children know. That's just the thing. Kids seem to know. And it's the adults who are like,
Yeah, I don't
just
know.
not 100% aware.
But yeah, so like the film we watched, The Net, shows like the view of this in a very early perspective, and that like, oh, it's so scary.
Yeah.
All these things will be a problem one day.
Yeah.
And they are.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. In fact, basically 15 million identities each year are stolen
Wow.
through the internet.
Wow.
The net is real.
There's an episode of Criminal Podcast where there's a woman whose mom stole her identity and like just really messed up like her whole life.
Well, yeah, you just need a social security number and you can like get credit cards for your 5-year-old child,
Yeah.
which is absurd.
Yeah. And ruin their like lives.
Yeah.
People wild.
It's absolutely insane. So sometimes companies even sell your information to other companies.
I would say not even sometimes. It's always.
It's always.
They are always selling your stuff.
You give your demographics, your information, where you are, who you are, whatever. Mm-hmm. They're selling that to other companies to make money.
Have you ever had like a physical conversation with someone, like in person, and you're like, man, I really need to get a Nintendo Switch.
Don't you
and then
even-
all of a sudden,
I'm gonna get to it.
now it's going to be on here.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna get to that because that is
Yes.
even worse than the first part. So imagine you're just living your life and you're like, oh no, my identity. So if you're a millennial like me,
Yeah.
we're drenched in debt, bad credit, with low paying jobs. I think you can all join me in the steal my identity anthem, which is you can go ahead and steal my identity because that ish is a mess. I'll sit over here saying no refunds, no takesies backsies. Those are your problems now
Yeah. Amen.
because we're all broke and we're all in debt and it's terrible.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where a lot of our like lack of fear in our specific generation is just like we're just so burnt out that we're just like, oh
It doesn't even matter. Like, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. Like honestly,
Go ahead.
someone wants to look at my credit right now. If you want to go hack there, you're gonna go boop 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 with the keyboard and be like,
That's how
let's look up
keyboards sound.
Kat's identity, and they'll be like, oh,
Ew. You live like this?
oh no, That's bad.
They're going to help you. They'll send you a check.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's ridiculous. And I feel like a lot of people of our age variety relate really hard to that. And I feel like that is kind of like, they don't care. Steal my stuff, man.
Yeah.
I please. I'm giving it away.
Yeah.
Take my identity and zero money.
Say that someone else did that.
Maybe they'll give me a new one.
Someone stole my identity and bought all these things that I would buy. Oh, so weird.
That'd be so nice. Thanks for writing me all the presents.
It refreshed.
But yeah. And also, if like you're like me and your brain does not have the capacity to read the very necessary, tiny fonted, multiple paged little
terms
things,
and conditions.
yes, if you actually read all of those, God bless you.
Oh, it's
but
scary.
none of us
it's
do.
honestly, I'm blissfully
none of us
unaware.
do, though.
On purpose. I don't want to know.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
afraid.
Like almost better
Honestly,
to not know.
I probably owe my soul to several companies, and you guys are just gonna have to work for it. You guys are gonna have to fight each other. It's not mine anymore.
Yeah, please take no takesies back.
You're the idiot for
this is you
taking it when it was already given.
You are now Gabe.
Yeah. Good luck.
Exactly. So it's also with like how quickly it developed. Like it's only 20 years old, and we've really just like built up all these systems, put everything that is us into it, and then really not given it the appropriate security, or like given it us a false sense of security, like buying those like programs that don't do anything. Like your identity is not safe. People are hacking your Wi-Fi. Your neighbor knows your internet code, and they're just not telling you.
We're looking at you, Wells Fargo, releasing all that information.
Yeah, they just sell that stuff all around. So it's just like nothing you put there is safe. And like none of the companies are safe from being hacked. And it's like even if they didn't do it on purpose, they're getting the information somehow. So we are not panicking enough. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like but I also acknowledge the fact that I am part of the problem. When I say some people do this, I am some people.
Yeah.
And it's not good.
We're all some people. That's why.
So all of our information is super vulnerable to being stolen, which is genuinely scary. And I feel like is a lot of like what the phobia around the internet was. Is that like they could steal your identity. They could steal who you were. They could make you look bad in front of others. They hack your Facebook.
Yeah.
Put a bunch of crazy stuff on there.
Yeah.
They put naked photos of you that were on your phone. Don't take naked photos with your phone and then keep them there.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So...
I embrace them.
That was a really long reason number 1. Reason number 2. Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, and Microsoft are listening to you.
Yeah.
Don't even, like, the whole Nintendo... I've been talking about Nintendo Switches in my real life.
Yeah.
Now you have an ad for Nintendo Switch, and you did not search that.
No.
The reason is...
so scary.
They're listening to you, like, but like really, like Apple had to publicly apologize to people for listening in and then selling that info to a third party.
Yeah, and Facebook's already like up on trial for this.
In an article in The Guardian, it talks about Apple's recordings. Someone called the whistleblower said there have been countless instances of recordings featuring private discussions between doctors and patients, business deals, seemingly criminal dealings, sexual encounters, and so on. These recordings are accompanied by user data showing location, contact details, and app data. You can definitely hear a doctor and patient talking about the medical history of a patient, or you'd hear someone... maybe with car engine background noise, you can say they're definitely doing a drug deal. You can definitely hear it happening. And you'd hear like people engaging in sexual acts and that are accidentally recorded with the pod or like the Apple Watch or your Google Home.
There was a case where they took the transcript from one of their like Siri devices because it like was a witness to a murder.
Yeah.
So it like was on trial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one gave them permission to do that. So what I'm saying is there are reasons they give those things away for free.
Yeah. Spotify. We're name dropping all over the place right now.
So who got their free Google Home? I know I did.
I did.
I got my free Google Home Mini. I got one for my mom because it was free.
Yeah.
Someone gave me theirs at work the other day. They just were like, oh, Merry Christmas, cat. And I was like, I'm Jewish, but it was fine. And then I got it had little Hanukkah menorahs on it.
Oh, that's
and it was a
cute.
Google Home Mini in there. And I was like,
What? Yeah. My
we
boyfriend's
are
mad we
putting
have
this
it, but
everywhere.
it's there.
We're putting them everywhere. And then you ask them all cute.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, Google, are you listening? And they say, I only listen when you talk to me.
Yeah.
And you want to know what?
But it says, but you want to let me listen so that I can better help you. it twists it. It does say, I will only listen to what you let me, but you should let me listen to a lot because then I can help you better.
Yeah, no. And Apple isn't the only one. Amazon literally hires people to listen to the Alexa conversations.
Mm-hmm.
There was an article that I saw, and it was like, does Amazon illegally record children?
Yep.
Amazon sued for allegedly storing conversations without consent.
Yep.
So, on top of this, when you ask your Google Assistant, you're like, it's only me. Talk to me. Tell me all your secrets. It's not real. Because you get the amount of accidental activations that like exist on record show that they have made it unbelievably easy to listen to 30-second little snippets of our life multiple times a day. Yeah. Literally like stealing and recording our voices to go who knows where. And what I say, my paranoid like conspiracy theory that I am developing is that they will... So you know how they make the robot voices? Yeah. Is they take different words and then they mush them all together to make sentences. Yeah. So say... You recorded a whole bunch of me speaking different things, saying words, you know, as I do, real nice. And you put them all together all mishmashed. And you make like reality style TV, whatever, manipulative shooting, whatever. And then you make me say stuff I didn't say. Yeah. And then now I'm in trouble, or you're slandering my name, or you're doing the net to me because you're saying, oh, hello, Mom, I don't love you anymore. Like that's the stuff that they can do with the robot voices.
This reminds me of two things. One, Scooby-Doo live action, when they minced Fred's words and he was like, I didn't say that. And they just like took the clip from it. But secondly is Fairly Odd Parents, when Vicky was babysitting Timmy and he was like, I didn't steal my mom's purse. And then she replayed it and said, hi, I'm Timmy and I stole my mom's purse. And it was great. And that's what I think of. So
that's exactly what it is. And it's terrifying. But like, you don't know. They just need the sound of your voice and then they can make anyone say words for you. And then it's terrible. Yeah. They have those little voiceover machines where you put in your phone, you like, make my voice gurgly voice. Yeah. You know? Yeah. What if it was your voice? What if it's make my voice Cat's voice?
Yeah. That'd be kind of cool.
No. Yeah. That technology should not exist.
Yeah. Well, I saw this post. It was really funny. And someone was like, if you put your face in those face apps, then the government has your identification. And someone's like, is anyone going to tell this person about licenses? Like, anyone going to tell them?
Let them know
that they already know. They already got it.
They also already have your fingerprints. They also, if you fell for the let's find out what our ancestry is time, they also got your blood. Yes. They got your blood.
They can't.
The government... The government.
It depends on which one you sent it to.
They hack it. They hack it.
They're
take
not
it.
Gonna hack it.
That's what I'm
because
saying.
their names aren't attached to that. Anyway.
Anger. Also, we're super addicted to it. Like, we can't live without it. That's my reason number 3. Is that, like, we've just made it such a essential facet of our lives. And we have, like, literally, like, addiction diagnoses for like, children who play Fortnite too much and, like, literally never want to go outside. Mm-hmm. And it's, like, a whole thing. Yeah. So, it's taking us over. Yeah. It's scary and we should care about it.
We should.
I'm not going to stop using my computer any less. But all I'm saying is...
Yeah. I played this game that was like... So we're going to talk about the net in our film section. But it was kind of like the behind the scenes of the net a little bit. Okay. And so it was called Orwell.
Oh, yeah, Orwell!
Mm-hmm. So it's where you are... Essentially, you're just playing as if you're like a person who works at a computer. And it's just a computer screen. But the thing about it is that you are tasked with like watching these people that are potential terrorists. Yeah. Right? But it's like this fictional world and it's very debatable on what they're terrorist of. And probably the surveillance government, because it's called Orwell, like George Orwell. Yeah. So the whole thing that's really weird about it is that like you're watching people's emails, you're watching their conversations over Facebook. You get like surveillance footage because you have their face from the pictures from Facebook. And there's all these like lines and it makes you really crazy and very paranoid because how easily like they just get in from like one word. They find your address, right? Yeah. But one thing that I found really traumatizing about that game was there'd be times where someone would say like a turn of phrase, like something like, oh, when I see him, I'm going to kill him, right? Yeah. Which is like... Which is really funny because, like, obviously they're not going to do that, right? But instead, you could click on that and then send that to like the information, and they would think that that was a real threat. And then, like, now this person does seem like they're a terrorist, and that was cause enough for them to like break into your house. It was wild. If you have not like played that before, definitely.
I've played it. It's definitely scary.
Yeah. Anyone who's like, listen, definitely like 10 out of 10. It was great. I bought the second one before it was all the way out. I was like, get me in here. It's it's so easy to get through, but it will really make you aware of what's happening. And we have been like afraid of the internet and computers since like they started.
Yeah.
Like we use them and they were very popular throughout film. And what's interesting is that the fear related to the internet changes with the times to mimic what the real world fears are at the time.
Yeah.
So like in the like 1980s, we had a lot of films about like nuclear war.
Okay, and like hacking the nukes and stuff were different.
So yeah, it was like ones where it was just like talking about war games from 1983 where we have a young hacker in quotations because it's laughable, the hackers in our films, right? But where they would unwittingly start World War III. Because they hack into the wrong thing, they push the wrong buttons, and it's just that easy. It's just this like young person who's just like, oh no,
nukes are gone.
Yeah,
Terminator, whatever. Terminator time is the robots do that.
Yeah, right. Because I mean, we've talked about it here in the Ghouls quite a few times about like the different ways that the internet or technology is going to bring about our end, right? Yeah. So we've had like the digital apocalypse, where we're reliant on our technology, and it's just like where we put everything, and we are just become one with, versus also like the robots that come after us, right?
Yeah.
Like thinking of the new Child's Play from last year, where that was like honestly scarier than the original Child's Play in that it seems way more realistic. Like you are like if an app can connect to all the things in your house, it can adjust your air conditioning, it can lock your doors, right? Like it could
smart house.
Yeah, it could smart house or the demon seed its way into your house and impregnate you with a robot baby. Like
it's
wild.
All I'm saying is y'all think it's a joke. It's not a joke. It's happening.
Yeah. But in the 80s we also had like failsafe where a computer malfunction triggers the nuclear wars as well, which is like, what we were always afraid of, like that happening. It was just a reflection of, the Cold War. And computers were new. And it also seemed like at the same time, like our safety net, right? Like we hid it away. It had all of our documents and we're like, it's safe. And then 2000 is coming along. Y2K or the Millennium Bug ruins all of that. So now people are all freaking out
because they think stuff's in there.
Yeah, they think the computer's just gonna be like, what is all these zeros and ones? And it's just gonna lose everything. It's just not gonna. It cannot compute, and everything's gonna crash. Stock market, your Social Security, like everything's just gone. And like, in what would we be, right? And so there was that fear of like. I think it kind of triggered the reality that so much of us was online already by 2000, right? And it took the threat of it being gone to be like, wait a second, it does control all that stuff. Like planes are going to crash and just fall out of the sky. Yeah. Those are controlled by like people were just like, it's going to be oblivion. Yeah. Like outside because it controls everything, right? And so that was kind of like during that first turn there, we had films that replicated that. So like The Net, right? Which we'll talk about later in our film section. And even like the film Hackers, right? It's so easy to just get into things and now you have control of those things. And then we started like realizing that what we are is the internet. Like we are one with the internet. Like everything we are is there. So kind of like when we talked about Cam last year, like how endangering it is for you to lose your entire like identity from the internet. And that's kind of like the net, right? Yeah. But this was just like a spin on that, right? Or the net was like, or Cam is a spin on the net. Yes. Yes, you're with me. Do you remember Fear.com?
Yes, I do.
From 2002. It was such an awfully enjoyable film. Super tacky. I loved it. I watched it every time it was on like whatever Fear channel it was, I watched it a million times. And so that one was absurd, but it was kind of like the start of like, but what if it was haunted? So like the other fears were like real.
What if the robots were ghosts?
Yeah. So,
suddenly.
Because like with the net or like with war games or failsafe, it was all like real life, like horror in that like if someone gets in, if this information gets in the wrong hands or if we lose it or something goes wrong, this is the real things that happen. And then we came into this thing that's just like, but what about spooky now?
Yeah.
Like, what if ghosts were in it? And so
They
fear.com.
keep our souls, man.
Yeah. If you go to fear.com.com, you get a cute little dancing skeleton. But the actual fear.com website, it was like fear.com.
Okay.
I remember going to it when I was, back in 2002. I won't say how old I am. And being like, it was really a site where it would be like, it showed what it showed in the film.
Yeah.
Like, not entirely because it was like murder, but it was like the creepy, like staticky, The Ring kind of stuff. Yeah. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, it's gonna get me. It was so fun. But that film really started to pinpoint the dark web and this voyeuristic thing that came with it, because we put all of ourselves onto the internet, and now like anyone can see that, and it also becomes clear that like not everyone is just normal, like we have a bank account kind of person, right? Yeah. Some people are messed up and do murder, right? Yeah. And so like if everything is on the internet, then even people's darkest, deepest secrets are also on the internet. And so with that film, the whole thing was that this website was haunted by a girl who had been murdered by a guy who would post his murders on the website, which has happened. Like, there is actual murder on the internet in the dark web. There's a famous true crime story of Luca Magnotta, who got famous for like hitting someone and murdering them on the internet, like a live streaming it or whatever. So it's real. The dark web is real.
The dark web terrifies me because there's like also like the other end of it that's like very scary for women. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You get like, taken. Yeah. Yeah. And then you're just there. Which is, what Cam like kind of helped us notice that is a whole different world to be worried about. Another film that came out more closer to modern day was Pulse, which was this mix of the ghost and everything is on the internet. Yeah. Right?
Oh my gosh, yes.
The original Pulse was Japanese, and then we made one in America because that's what we were doing at that time. Yeah. And we'll talk about this in our film section as well because it was super fun. But it blends that because it does have the ghost and the machine kind of thing. Yeah. But it also was like planes were crashing. Like, it was a mix of like Y2K, what we thought would happen, and it's like, what if, and the net, right? It's like, what if the net wasn't just some rogue group that wanted to control the world, but was a ghost? Yeah. So that's
ghost
what
can't
Pulse
be reasoned with.
Yeah. And then more recent times when we talk about internet and horror, we have these two Skype films called Unfriended. Yes. Which was such a time.
That man dies by blender.
Yes, a man dies by blender in Unfriended. Unfriended takes entirely place entirely through a Skype session. So it looked like, especially, it's definitely fitting if you watch it on a computer, because then it feels real. But it literally is just all Skype, and it's these kids, and the whole moral of that story is like, don't cyberbully, right? Yeah. So we take this like morality tale of like real internet wrongdoings, and here are the repercussions, right? Some ghost of the girl who was cyberbullied and ended up committing suicide, spoilers, murders them all. And they can't sign off, and you have to watch your friends be murdered. Yeah. Right? So this is something that brought us together, and we can be friends with anyone, and we can see anyone from anywhere around the world. And it's like, but also they're still that far away, right? Yeah. Like, we still can't get them.
Get to them and like have them be safe.
Yeah, and then the more recent one was the Unfriended Dark Web, which features similar to Fear.com, where it's like more voyeuristic, like things you should not be watching. Yeah. And so then those people are being targeted because of that. Yeah. So it's like a revitalization of Fear.com, but like a little better. Yeah. So it's pretty good. But I found this article in the Chicago Tribune. The internet has always scared us, but the terror feels more real than ever. And it's by Sonny Bunch, who essentially had like the same ideas that I did. When I was like picking this like topic, I was like, oh, because we can talk about this, this, and this. And I was like, and oh, this. Yeah. And I was reading this article, I was like, dog, why are we the same person? So actually they, because I don't know. What they say about the dark web film is that dark web dwells on horrors familiar to those who spend a fair amount of time on social media, such as swatting, which is the practice of calling the cops on someone with the intent of getting the police to injure them, which is so messed up, and the casual cruelty that untraceable anonymity inculcates. The evolution of the internet as a villain, from a place where your identity might be stolen to one in which strangers might murder you for lulz, mirrors the very real way the internet has evolved for many of us. The nihilistic hate that passes for a community in certain corners of the internet is terrifying, unstoppable, and frankly incomprehensible. So maybe Skynet was right all along. And I gotta say, I don't disagree.
Yeah, no, it's really scary.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, if we don't have spooky ghosts, like, coming after these evil people, because it's kind of a twist, right? The fact of the matter is those people still exist. There's still those communities who have a home there. I mean, now we have incels who are in chat rooms and cooking up all kinds of very bad things.
Yeah.
And it's sad because the internet can bring us together so that we can, you know, fight against some of the problems in our society, right? Like, it helps us with, you know, rioting and making sure that we can protest together, right? Yeah. But it also is a tool for the people who shouldn't be doing that, or like, we'd rather not, right? So it's kind of like an equal opportunity thing. But it can be really scary for the ways that you said, where it's like your whole life is on there, it's listening to you, the government can get to you, or a person can steal your whole life, right? Yeah. Or there's just things on there that are terrifying in and of itself. Yeah. Like, there's just a whole world in there. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's scary, man.
Yeah. One thing I did see was that I saw a tweet once that said, we used to be told never to meet anyone off the internet, and definitely don't get in a car with strangers. But now we use the internet to summon strangers to get in their car. Yeah. Like Uber and Lyft. Yep. Yeah.
That's really real.
Yeah. But I would say, I think that millennials and, like, younger are a little more aware of the terrors of the internet, because we've always kind of had it in some form, right? And it's really like boomers, or like even some Gen Xers, who are the ones who are like, if you don't share this on Facebook, they'll reveal all your personal information at midnight. Like, what are you doing, Karen? Like, it's not real. So, like, and if you don't share this picture of Jesus, I promise that kid is still going to get the operation. Like, why did, like, they didn't learn from the Nigerian prince chain letters? Like, why is this happening? Right? Yeah, like, it's wild that still happens on Facebook. They're like, you kids, get off the internet. Like, no, you really need to get off, because it's a danger to you. And
you leave everything out here.
You can't do that, man.
Yeah, films. We watch some films. So let's talk about those films. And all that spooky stuff.
You wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal a handbag. You wouldn't steal a television.
It's so big.
You wouldn't steal a DVD.
I don't know.
Downloading pirated films is stealing. Stealing is against the law.
What?
Piracy is a crime.
Word. You guys remember that commercial? I don't think anyone really does.
Except for us, because we were the ones lime wiring and frost wiring and whatever the heck.
Because no one knows that one. That was like on the fringe. But that's when you would download the music.
When you wanted games or movies, Pirate Bay. Yeah. Or what was the other guy?
Oh my God, R.I.P.
Right?
R.I.P. to all of these.
There was another one that was really good, and I don't remember the name of it.
This was before, like, you had the luxury of, like, Spotify, where you could just be like, I'm going to put in a song I want. You had to go find it. And then I had the iPod Shuffle, and you could have 100 songs on it. Mm-hmm. So I listened to the same 100 songs. Yeah. Every day. Yeah. I had Ayaz Replay on there, and it's so dated, because it's like, I got your song on my iPod, and it's very funny, because it's like, no one has those anymore.
You would make, like, iPod playlists for your friends.
Yeah, they do the little click, click, click sound when you do the scrolling. Yeah. Yeah. And one time, my mom asked me to download this one song. Uh-huh. And it was like a really rare song. It's ridiculous. And I did, and it was accidentally porn. And I was like, I'm real sorry, Mom. Like, the internet, it's a wasteland out here. I don't know what's going on.
You had one ask.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You had one job.
I do, but burning CDs and stuff.
Yes,
you'd find
I used
those
to love
songs.
burning
What a
CDs for my
time.
friends.
Yeah.
I would go, so I had like a karaoke machine.
I did too.
And I would use it to listen to the radio and then burn radio songs to like CDs and cassette tapes.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing.
Yeah.
And I remember calling, there was the one song, You and Me, baby, ain't
Ain't
nothing but mammals, so let's
yeah.
do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. And I didn't know what it was called. So I literally
You typed in those words?
I used to love to call radio stations
Ah,
and like request songs and be like, I don't know what it's called, but
that's so
Can you-
smart.
play the song. It's like, I would sing it and they'd
Yeah.
be like, this kid,
Yeah.
13,
You're
what?
not allowed to listen to this. This is
Yeah,
not-
right?
this
I was
is
like, the
very
one about the
inappropriate.
animals.
This is inappropriate for you.
I just thought it
Remember
was
when
so
you'd
funny.
have to like search on the internet and you had to put the plus between each word
Yes.
to be like, these are associated with you? What a time.
Yeah.
You guys don't even know how good you have it, young people.
The internet just does
I feel
it.
like a
It just
crotchety
works.
old person. I'm like, you don't, back in my day.
I would just wait so long to do anything fun.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, Neopets, all right, I guess it's worth
Oh my
10
gosh,
minutes.
they're so dead.
No,
Neopets
they're
are
not.
hella
They
dead.
still exist, and nothing has changed about the website.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yours are dead.
Probably.
Because you have not been there.
They're so malnourished.
Very dead.
I didn't feed them enough jellies. I was gone for 10 years.
20 years. It's so long. Yeah.
You don't know the last time I
That's true.
Neopetted.
You're right.
Gabe.
Did you ever
Judgy.
get the when you would download a song and you wouldn't know because it would be titled the right way, and then later you'd be listening and then all of a sudden this song would come up and it'd be like, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, but I did go to this website and then you were like, son, dang it. And then
I didn't want that. I wanted the song.
and it would be like so many that would just like pop up like, oh, now I gotta go spend 3 hours downloading this
Coming
one song.
for that one song I really wanted.
Oh man, the internet, man. So we watched two things.
We did.
We watched The Net from 1995. It is a time.
I'm Gabe now.
No, what? We're one. Heartache to heartache. No, it's getting weird. Okay. So, what this is about is a computer programmer stumbles upon a conspiracy, putting her life and the lives of those around her in great danger. Results in many deaths, which is really sad. But this is starring...
Bullock. Sandra Bullock.
Yes,
We
I
did
get
it.
her mixed up with another actress.
Who does not look like her.
I
but
know, but you know what?
Julia Roberts has a large mouth, which it doesn't make her, like, it's
No,
pretty.
it's
It's a pretty
good on
mouth.
her.
It's a pretty
Yeah.
large mouth. But
I
she does
just
not look
can't.
like Sandra Bullock, who has a small mouth.
I'll get it one day.
Yeah.
But it is
I
Sandra
believe
Bullock.
in you.
And this is fresh out of the Speed Drive
She was,
films.
like, doing thrillers at this time.
And she was so good. She was so beautiful. And everyone's so young. It's such a time, like, for that.
yeah, she
like-
was dressed so cute in the movie, too.
Yeah.
which was
So
nice.
she's like a computer person, like
Uh-huh.
IT, kind of.
She does the hacking.
She likes to be, like, she's totally isolated, which then is, like, what gets her. So I guess the
Yeah.
moral is, like, go outside, make some friends.
You don't gotta tell me what to do.
The movie told her and told you. So because as a consequence, no one really knows who she is other than
Yeah.
who she was on the internet. So
Yep.
when you remove her internet presence, she's nobody now.
Yeah.
And so it's like really scary. But the whole first part is like thrillery where she's like, we establish who she is, we establish she's alone, right?
Yeah.
And then she goes on a vacation finally.
For the first time in 10 years.
And she immediately falls for this guy. And it's like, what I found about this film that was interesting was that, like, I guess it was the 90s, and maybe that's what they did, but it really doesn't, like, do slow burns, really.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
everything, like, that was a hint or a foreshadow happened right before the scene where it was relevant.
Yeah, no, that's
So it
definitely
was
true.
never like at the end you'd be like, oh my gosh, because she did that before at the beginning. It was like the scene before it was her typing in like, this is what my dream guy would be. Then she goes on vacation and that guy is eerily similar to what she just wrote. And
Yeah.
you were like, well, like it was so ridiculous. So it really doesn't let you like dwell. So that part I was like, okay. And it spent a long time of her being like wooed by this guy.
Yeah.
but it quickly turns as soon as it does. Like,
Yeah.
that
And
we
she's
know.
also like super good at like being a step ahead.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Like she wasn't for a second.
Yeah.
But then as soon as she figures it out, she's like, I'm not getting caught by you.
Yeah.
You thought I was just some girl on vacation, like living my best life before that was a phrase.
Yeah.
And you're wrong. And I'm out here finding your gun before you're going to shoot me with it.
Yeah.
And then like running away and like kicking people in public and it's being fine.
Yeah.
Those cops are coming for me. I went out the bathroom window. Like,
Yeah.
she's really ahead of it.
They sold her house, which was so wild. I was like, what is going on?
How you do
I would
that?
have a meltdown. Like, she handled this so well. Like, her life is gone. Like, all her stuff is gone. Her whole, like, no one knows who she is. Her mom has Alzheimer's, so she's the only one who could, like, vouch for her.
Yeah.
And, like, where she worked, she, like, kind of worked, like, remotely, more or less, so no one really knew who she was. So it's like, she has lost everything almost instantly, like, when she realizes it. And she handles herself so well. Like, I would have had a total nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
I would not be the heroine of this story. I would be, like, in the corner just sobbing until I went to jail.
I would have
I'd be like, "I'm
immediately went to
sorry."
jail. I would have just been like, all right, well.
I guess I did all those crimes they put into my account that into my file that is not my name.
Yeah.
But yeah, she immediately just starts picking up. She runs away. She does all the cool things. She like stashes the phone on someone.
Yeah.
But she did give away a lot of information to this guy she just met. So the very little substance of her that she had, he knew about already.
Yeah.
So
And also
sad.
like, why are you telling these people about this?
Yeah, she's very open for someone who's supposed to be like an introvert that doesn't talk to anybody.
Yeah. Well, she's internet talking, so it's different.
That's still different. That's
Like
a
you
still
saying,
different.
like your AIM persona is different than your real persona.
Absolutely. That's why I think it's weird that she was so open with a stranger.
Yeah. I did weird stuff on AIM.
Yeah, everyone did.
Yeah.
That's why it's gone forever.
What's your ASL?
No, chat roulette. Remember that?
Yes. Oh my God. I love chat roulette. My friends and I would dress up in crazy costumes. I know we keep diverting, but it's like nostalgia.
Yeah.
We would dress up in crazy costumes to freak people out on chat
Yeah.
roulette. And we got this guy to remove his sock. Like just his sock.
Thank
it was like the
God.
most absurd thing. In like a sexy way.
Yeah.
And then we would go away.
Yeah.
It was super mean, but it was really funny.
Omegle was also one of those like random chat rooms.
No,
video
I
chats.
didn't do that one.
And me and my friend were like in the same room and we would hit it. We were hitting it randomly for like, I'd say 45 minutes to an hour until we got each other.
That's
Like
so-
that was our goal. We were just like, nope. No, or
Oh,
we'd
that's
be,
a penis.
Yeah. We'd be like, oh, I'm talking to this person now. And they'd be like, gone. And it's scary time.
Yeah.
Children, you don't even know. Don't go on the internet. Don't talk to strangers. So in this, it's pretty interesting. But the terror of it is that there is this organization that wants to kind of like hack everything. It wants to control the military. And the military is convinced that they're better than everyone and that they have fail-proof, like hack-proof.
And they go into like the
internet.
government and they're trying to like manipulate policy to get the software everywhere so that they can get into anything, do whatever they want with their shady times.
And she had a floppy disk. I just want to. She had a floppy disk. That was fun, and then it was destroyed because they're very easily destroyed.
Yeah, remember Pajama Sam?
No.
I had a floppy disk for Pajama Sam.
Okay.
It was a game you could play on your computer when floppy disks were like simple games. Well, actually, I think it was a CD, but that's
why
neither here nor there.
That's why kids don't understand like the save icon. That's a floppy disk.
Yeah.
And they're like, what is that? Or they don't understand hanging up the phone.
Yeah.
Children. But also, she thwarts this plan by uploading a virus to the hack. I couldn't tell you. I don't understand any of the tech that was happening.
She, for some reason, is able to put this floppy disk and then access, like, sending stuff to the FBI, which is that
She
real?
didn't do that.
She sent it to the FBI.
No, she said she did to get him to go on there to try to reverse it. It was a decoy because really what she was doing was he was going to hit a button and then it would launch the virus into their system, which he was in the system to get into the FBI.
Yeah.
Because the system they had would allow you to hack into anything.
Yeah.
So he had to get into that to get to the FBI to be like, oh no, let's
and then
erase
hits
that.
escape.
Yeah.
And then it
and
spreads
what it
the virus.
was a virus, yeah. So that was cool. And then whatever. And she ended up like, they're dead. And she was a hero. She somehow got her whole life back. Which was
the
nice.
FBI was like, cool, thanks.
Yeah, we refused to believe you or that we were, in danger in any way.
Yeah.
But you should always think that. Yeah. But we watched another thing.
We did. This one was also ridiculous. But
so fun.
Way too recent to exist in the way that it does.
No, it checks out.
We watched Pulse from 2006, which when their computer hacker friend accidentally channels a mysterious wireless signal, a group of co-eds rally to stop a terrifying evil from taking over the world.
Yes. So it stars Kristen Bell. Is it Kristen or Kirsten? Kristen Bell.
You're asking the wrong friend.
Anna from Frozen.
Yeah. And also Good Place.
Veronica Mars. And
also Veronica Mars.
She's in it as like a young person. This is like Veronica Mars time.
Yeah, real.
So she's still snarky teenage woman. Like I'm still too cool.
Yeah, you get the whole, the 2000s had the two different kinds of white protagonists. You're either Avril Lavigne or you're Abercrombie and Fitch preppy.
Yes. And she was Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, she was angst.
She was wearing so much eyeshadow. Yeah. It was just black.
He was a skater boy.
She was emanating that energy so intensely. She had like black eyeshadow all up in her eye. And here's the thing: the aesthetic for this, and the reason why we played that ad at the beginning for you guys, or the piracy is a crime, is if you look up that video, the aesthetic for that and the darkness and like we're so like edgy feeling is what this film is.
The whole
Pulse
time.
is that it's so dark. It is like the blues are oversaturated, but there's like no red tones. It's super dark. It's vignettes all over the place.
Yeah.
And there are scenes where like I literally forgot that she has blue eyes because it's just like blackness.
Yeah.
Where her eyes are. And it's on purpose. It's starring Ian Somerhalder of Vampire Diaries and Lost. And he's like, he didn't even need to be in there, really. Like, it was weird to just throw the strange man who believes her and is invested in her life.
Interest.
Yeah, and he like now cares about her just because he bought her dearly departed boyfriend's computer.
Who has a spooky pulse time on there.
Yes. So people, they get a message that's like, you want to see some ghosts?
And of course you click it. You're like, I've been waiting for some ghosts. Where have you been? Website?
I would have 100%. I would have been like, yeah. Like, if pop-ups pop up all the time, they're like, singles in your area, I'd be like, nah. But if it pops up and was like, you want to see some ghosts? I'd be like, oh, heck yeah, this seems real.
Let's do it.
Click it so fast.
This is nothing. Nothing
viruses.
Indicates something bad about this. I am here for the ghosts.
Trouble. Singles, nah, they're not coming for me. Ghosts, yes.
Did you say ghosts?
I'm here for it. Yeah, so if it's ghosts in there.
Yeah.
And so they click it. Yeah. And then what they see is this like cycling of footage. It's again this voyeuristic thing where we're seeing people who are committing suicide or getting hurt. Yeah. And so it's just like cycling through with that. And then you're cursed now. And so then the ghosts are coming after you in real life. And in the way that
join that sad depressed-y time of get rid of life. Because they want life,
but they're taking the life.
They're like collecting dead people to somehow gain life, which is confusing.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive. I don't think these ghosts are very smart. But the other thing is like what I thought was interesting is that it started as a Japanese film. So there is a trend in Japanese, like in J-horror, right, where you have like the concealing of the windows, right? Mm-hmm. So the red tape on the windows and the aesthetic of the way that the ghost looked. But they didn't they transferred that right over to America without any real like explanation, which is so weird because America needs like super like it was just like we don't know why
mapped out for us to process.
Yeah. In this it was like we don't know, but ghosts don't like the red tape. So put the red tape around, and then
there's literally no. It's just like I don't know why this works, but it does.
Yeah,
is like what the note said.
Yeah,
which is like his last thing to tell his friends.
Like why are you communicating? Like it's not even like a dirty secret, really. Like I feel like if I was being haunted by our internet ghost, Kat, I would tell you immediately. I'd be like, listen,
I saw this weird thing.
I impossibly haunted by the internet, and not in like a pseudo way where I'm like the internet is so a part of our lives I feel like it's everywhere,
trying to be
but
meta.
Literally there's a ghost in it not like a Ghost in the Machine kind of, like it's literal. Look, they had a pop-up. It said, do you want to see ghosts? And you know me, I'm going to hit ghosts. So I did, and now I'm haunted. Can you help? And that's how that conversation would go.
Yeah.
And then you would try to help me. So I don't understand why. And I guess it's kind of like a metaphor for like depression.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole thing.
Like,
it was like you don't
yourself.
seek out help, and then you're trying not to harm yourself, but inevitably you will, right? And if you don't, something else is going to get you. Like, it's like a constant losing battle.
Yeah.
Of either you're going to lose against yourself or you're going to lose against the darkness, which is yourself, right?
Yeah.
And so it is as big. That was a part of the metaphor. The other part was it takes a quick turn towards the end from just spooky J-horror time to Y2K all up in here.
Yeah, because like everyone is experiencing it. It took out the whole town.
Yeah.
Then you have planes falling from the sky. People like they're vaporizing in their cars, smashing into other cars. Like,
yeah, because they wouldn't kill themselves. And so it spreads like a virus, like on a computer. Like, because Karen and Bob were sharing before midnight because Facebook was going to upload all their photos to the government if they didn't do that. And so they did. And it's like, share this if you love Jesus. And of course they did, because that's their ghost message.
Is it when they post the Star Wars guy?
Yeah, when they you know what Christmas is really about. And
it's Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor. Was he Obi-Wan? I don't know, man. I'm just saying.
Don't put me in here like this. Yes.
Ewan McGregor
yes,
in
because
Star Wars.
Qui-Gon is the other one. Yes. We're nerds. I'm sorry. So don't get my nerd card revoked like this, Catherine. So
I'm trying.
In the second act of the film, we have like planes crashing, all of that. It's really just like, it's terrifying, and it's like the net happened. Like the net and Fear.com had a baby. And that's the Pulse movie.
And she has her flip phone telling her whether or not she has signal, and if there's no signal, they're safe.
Yeah, because then they come out at you.
Yep.
And it's like, it's wild. It was, I don't even know. Yeah, it was a weird aesthetic choice. And I feel like they could have kept one theme. Like the depression theme, I was like, I get it.
Yeah, that's here.
As soon as they brought in like the internet is toxic and we're all on it, and then we, I was like, but I guess it's more relevant than ever nowadays with how many kids like are committing suicide because of cyberbullying.
Yeah.
So the internet is more or less killing children that way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's very sad. So I guess it's like they kind of predicted that. This is also written by Wes Craven.
Oh, wow.
Our man. But it's directed by Jim Sonzero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. I see some ghosts.
Yeah, feelings. Yeah, I said feelings. Let's talk about feelings. Okay. And all that spooky stuff. I love spooky stuff.
All right, if you like it, it's 100% ghosts, please.
Yeah, we're clicking that. You want to see some ghosts? Yes.
100%.
You don't gotta ask me twice. Say it once, we're there.
And it's like a weird, spooky, like a black screen, which is like creepy lettering on it that says, do you want to see ghosts? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
If that popped up anywhere, oh yes. I'd be like, this is it. This is my time. Like,
this is the moment I've been waiting
I have
for.
been like pruned for this moment, right? Like I've been beefed up and ready to go. I have a podcast about this. I will live tweet my experiences.
Yeah.
Please don't send me a virus that says, do you need ghosts? Because I will click it. Don't do that to me.
Jeff.
No.
Prep an email.
No. Have you ever seen that post where it's someone's mom was trying to post, like, send an email to her boss that was going to say, like, I'm afraid I can't make it to this meeting, but she prematurely sent it, and it just says, Dear Bob, I am afraid. It's just that. And it's like, how do you explain that? I'd be like, oh my God, what's happening? It's such a great time to end. So that's if you like it. It's yes, ghost, please. If you don't like it, it's share this by midnight. Yes. Or, bad things will happen to you.
The Facebooks will release
you gotta
all of your
share
data.
Lucky Money Cat And
unless you don't want that 20 million.
unless you don't want Jesus to answer the prayers of this child who is sick, this doctor cannot do the performing of this surgery unless he gets 700 retweets. It's very real. So for the topic of the internet is horror.
I mean, yeah, 100% ghosts, please.
Yeah, it is horrifying.
It's really scary and like fun.
Yeah.
But also like, I really never want to think about it again until it's a real problem for me.
This is a problem.
This is my whole I leave my bike in West Philly situation and I just don't look back.
Yeah.
Too many people know about it.
What a time.
It shows how I deal with my problems.
We live very far from West Philly, and instead of driving her bike back, she just left it there, and now it's gone forever.
It was, okay, like 2 years later, I went back and it was still there.
What was wrong with your bike?
No, it was locked up. I put a whole chain thing on it.
That doesn't stop. We live in Philadelphia.
I know, but all I'm saying is there's like cameras on campus. I don't even go to Penn. I was just going to a meeting and then it started raining and I was like,
nah.
No, I'm gonna take a lift home. And then I just never went back for it because like it was during a time where I was no longer working there.
Yeah. Well, so I think it is scary. Totally. We put all of our I know I do. I have like I'm pretty good at my passwords now, but I do have like an app that remembers my passwords. So it's like if anyone can log into that app, now they can get all my passwords.
All my passwords are very similar to each other.
Yeah, I have like a code that I use. Like it's like the basic package, but words change based on my thinking of my brain. Yeah. So it might be good, I guess, unless someone really knows me. But all this month and quite a few episodes to go, we're going to be talking about the future and things that are in the future that are really scary. So you gotta,
buckle up, stay tuned, man. Yeah.
And just, sign off of, log out of things. Don't save passwords.
Don't leave your Facebook open at the library.
Oh my God.
You've
been hacked.
I used to love letting my friends make my statuses. I used to think it was so funny. I was like,
oh my
this
God,
is a
I
spawn
love you.
date.
You're the best. XOXO game.
They would usually just IM people from like middle school and say weird stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a time. Yeah, the internet has changed so much. It really hasn't been that long. But it's 2020. We don't know what the future holds. The internet could be even more scary, momentously more scary.
It's coming for us, man.
It's happening. It's watching. Ask your Google.
It's listening.
Like, okay, Google. It didn't do it, but usually it's listening. I have seen recently a lot of people's Siris have been like chirping like open, like, because they just hear the conversation. Yeah. And it's been happening more often where people will accidentally have their like Siri on. Like it'll be like, I can't find that right now. And I'll have it like all the time. I'm like,
yeah.
What is this increase? It's listening more.
The activation is so easy. It's just like a zipper sound, like a zipper, any sort of like thing that could sound.
Yeah.
And I think they did that like in an attempt to recognize like accents and stuff like that. So but it has opened the doors.
Sensitive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Don't say like anything incriminating. They used to have that thing on Siri was like, where can I hide a body? They took that off now. It was like, it was not okay. Yeah, well, it might be a joke, but everyone's on the FBI watch list at this point. Yeah. We definitely are now. Yeah. But
I always joke about murder.
Yeah.
And I've never even kind of close to going to murder somebody.
That's true. Yeah, so stay tuned for the rest of these series of 2020 Future Vision. Yeah. And definitely check out Pulse in the Net if you got some time to kill. It's
they're
fun.
Goofy.
They're fun. Have some fun with
They're
friends.
not scary, but they are fun.
Super cute. Well, don't get married.
Delete your kids.